Hello, hello, hello. Let me guess. Vincy Lou who? Nope, too early for Vincy. Who's here? Who's spying on me? Cute. Hey, girly girl. I was right. That was you. I figured that was you on there. My gosh. So let me show you what I bought myself. So it comes in this little gift box that is like so adorably cute. And on the inside, you've got these 4 candles. And it is, they're made with soy too. This is, comes in this little tin. That one's lavender. This one is jasmine. Ooh. Trying to decide what I want to. This one is a gardenia. Jackie! That smells good. And then, and I can't hold on to anything all of a sudden. And then this one is French vanilla. So, did you ladies see my text? Did you bring your hot flash kits? It smells like ice cream. I got these off of Amazon. Jackie, I want to show you this. See, this is the gift. This is a gift I bought myself. And it comes with these 4 candles. Jasmine, we're going to give myself a headache probably. I got these off of, I found these on Amazon, but they're made by another company that just sells on Amazon. Oh, they're made in Vietnam. They're YINUO candle. They're so cute though. I can't remember. I want to say they were like $15, $20. I don't know. But they're made with soy. And they're supposed to be long lasting, so we'll see. So, hot flash kits. Did you guys bring them? I know. Trust me. The reason they're doing mine is because I'm having that endoscopy done. It's horrible. And my daddy works for a nursing home, him and his girlfriend. And they were told today that they're going to have to start getting it done weekly. Well, my daddy is almost 72 years old. And he just refuses to retire because he's stubborn. He's just scared and doesn't know what he's going to do when he retires, kind of thing, you know. But doesn't think he can afford to retire, but he can. But he he takes blood thinners, and when his blood gets too thin, his nose bleeds. And I told him, I said, there's no way in hell you can take this test. No way. because it is just, I can still feel it up in here. There's still a slight burn up in there. But yeah, there's no way. I don't need that. And so his job actually depends on it. If he doesn't take it, then they will. What is my headset doing under down here? My headset for work. Yeah, so it scares me that he's going to lose his job over this. Now, some of them are trying to get it to where maybe they can do a blood test instead. And oh, I can tell you the other part about it. You pull up in your vehicle and she's in this cargo trailer thing, that they kind of made into an office. You see those a lot. And she, you see her standing there at the door. She's putting her mask on, and then she's got the face shield on, and she's already got her apron, thing on to protect her. Then all of a sudden, she pulls out these gloves. We're talking Dr. Pole hand up the cow's ass gloves. And I'm like, oh, it's Nina. I was like, Nina! I was about to have a conniption fit. I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah. All right. It looks like we got a third person on here. If you are on here and you're having problems commenting, just go down and hit subscribe. You may have to go out of the video and back in to subscribe. I'm not sure how it's set up on your side of it. But you have to subscribe in order to be able to comment. That's something we figured out on this, but it just subscribing only allows you to comment. It's not like you're going to be getting all these emails and notices when I'm on and all that stuff. No, you're not going to be all that. You won't even know you're part of my gang until you come on YouTube and it says, "Oh look, Nae's got a new video. Mynae has been reading again." I should do lavender. It makes me go to sleep. I'm going to be hangry tomorrow night, and I'll tell this again before we get done. Tomorrow night will probably be pre-recorded because I have to go on a liquid diet tomorrow, and at this time tomorrow night, I will have drunk my gallon jug worth of stuff to cleanse me out. So I don't know if I will be completely empty or not by this time. So in order to not have to interrupt my read and run to the bathroom real quick, I am going to pre-record it tomorrow and post it, have it scheduled for 8 o'clock. But I'll tell you guys again at the end of the thing to remind you. All righty, we ready? BKB. I wonder where Nina's at. Does she have a takeover tonight I didn't know about? So, all right. Let's show you the cover of this sexy book. You guys all know Serenity, right? She's the one that does the Aurora Marlett series, the wolf, where the wolf's got like 16 different mates. And, one's a dragon, one's twin wolves, another one's a bear. Love Dimitri. Okay, so here's the cover for this one. Ooh, look at them sexy shoes. Let's see if I can do it better this way. Can you guys see it better this way? Oh yeah. Look, she's got that course on them shoes. Oh my gosh, they're like 7-inch stilettos. So I hope whoever I just lost will be back in a minute. So, all righty. Well, there was another prep that I could have done, but I have to do it like midnight, and I don't do midnights. Okay, so we are starting on chapter 4. One of these days, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read this whole series. If I ever get a month's vacation by myself, probably. Okay, the Reckon Eric. Oops, nope, that's chapter 3. Go chapter 4. Erlich. Erlich is the dragon. Chapter 4. This is from Erlich's point of view. Aurora must have come to my bed last night sometime after the eagles and the war dragons returned. I was kind of shocked to roll over to find her facing me with her hand on my chest. It's been forever since I have had Aurora in my bed alone. Yes, I know it is. My eyes roam over the features of her face, and it makes me smile. She looks so angelic in her sleep, so innocent and pure at first glance. On a closer look at her features, there are faint silver scars marring her flesh from past battles visible. Plenty of those on my chest. Not my chest, but my torso. I run a finger over Aurora's cheek reverently. I am truly blessed to have such a wonderful mate at my side. Languidly, her eyes open. They are the mercury dragon eyes of her beast. A low rumble is audible from Aurora's beast. And it's now stalking me. I watch her rise up onto all fours with unearthly grace. Her beast is in full control. Her mouth opens gradually, and her canines are visible and fully descended. Her scent hits me in the gut hard. She's in heat again. My cock is as hard as titanium, and my beast is urging me to breed our mate again. Through the bond, I reach out to my bond mates as well as Nicodemus. I'm panicked. We've come so far, and we're so close to attacking the castle now. We can't take a chance of Aurora getting pregnant no matter how badly she wants it. My door blasts open, and it's my bond mates first. Their animals are almost on the surface as badly as I am. We are all struggling for control as we watch Aurora look at each of us in turn with the unmistakable hunger in her eyes. My door blasts open, and it's Nicodemus walks in and shakes his head as he raises one hand. Suddenly, the temperature starts dropping in the room. Aurora focuses her attention on her father, and he locks eyes with her. Can you imagine being horny and your father walks in with all your husbands? And he locks eyes with her. But Aurora is almost stronger than her father because of the added Lycan alpha powers combined with her dragon nature. The combination of the two species' strengths, she's almost able to force her father into submission. Quickly, I jump up and cover her eyes with my hand and attempt to restrain her. Aurora starts screaming and thrashing. She's not happy her attempts to breed was stopped. I give Nicodemus the opening he needs, and he rushes in quickly and lays his hand on her chest, dropping her body temperature. Ever so quickly, the fight begins to drain out of Aurora. Her scent isn't as powerful as it was before. Just as quickly as it all started, it is over, and Aurora is asleep in my arms. I look up at my father-in-law, and he nods. Carry her to my quarters. I'll look after her for the next 3 days. You boys have plenty of information to review and compile to formulate a battle plan. I'll watch over my daughter until her heat is over. I start walking with Aurora in my arms. I'm fighting my beast for control. Her sweet scent is driving us absolutely insane. Quickly, I carry her down the hall to Nicodemus's room and lay her on the futon that he has. I smirk at Nico and shake my head. I'm guessing you were prepared for her heat this time? After last time, yes. Yes, I was. We don't need her pregnant again. Not now that we are so close to the end of the journey. Nicodemus moves across his room with a blanket he had picked up. Gently, he lays it over Aurora, tucking her in for her slumber. I'll keep her in the ice sleep so her body goes through her heat without the pheromones. When it's over, I'll wake her up, and it will be back to business as usual. Till then, I'll watch over her and keep her safe. You need to be the king she knows you are. Nicodemus rises and places his hand on my shoulder and smiles at me. Man, I wish they had when I was getting my heat every month, I wish they had the like that. I was just trying to make it up as I go. I'm trying to remember what I did in the past, and the characters change a little bit, so I gotta I'll handle everything in her absence. Thank you for watching over our mate for us. I bow my head and raise my fist to my chest as I look at Nicodemus. He returns the gesture, and I dip my head slightly and leave his room, locking the door behind me. Through the bond, I reach out to the other mates and call for a meeting in the war room. I shoot a text out to Ellis and tell him about the meeting. He's a wise ass as usual, but it wouldn't be Ellis if it weren't. I make it to the war room and shut the door and lock it behind Ellis as he enters. Okay, everyone, as you can notice, we are 2 people down for the meeting. Aurora is indisposed, and Jagger, he's no longer breathing, and tigers are on the extinction list. I cross my muscular arms over my chest, daring anyone to question me. Damn, bro, harsh much? Ellis questions. Ellis looks at each mate in turn, and none disagrees with my decision. Okay, so where's our blood queen? Ellis looks around the room until he gets to Jace, knowing he is the weakest link. Jace looks at me, waiting for my permission. When I nod my head to Jace, he speaks. She's with her father for a few days. There are important matters they need to attend to together. Jace looks back to me again, this time seeking approval. I smile and nod my head again to Jace, prompting him to smile in return. Okay, Ellis says, but it sounds more like a question. So, since I'm an outsider to this kumbaya shit you've got going on, mind filling in the blanks? Ellis moves and leans against the closest wall, looking at each bond made in return. Short version, I say as I start to prowl the room. We couldn't trust the tigers. Jagger was acting shifty as all hell, and he was disappearing from camp more often than not. I moved to the whiteboard and erased the tigers part in the plan. I then flipped the board over, and an entirely different plan sits there. I tried to believe that they were good, but in the back of my mind, I felt they were untrustworthy. So this is the real plan. I motioned to the whiteboard, then returned to my seat at the head of the table. Klaus casually stands and moves to the corner of the room and answers his phone. I watch him closely. His facial expressions are quite animated as he talks to whoever is on the other end. Eventually, he motions to the smart TV and casts the video he was sent to it. I get it now. It was Klaus's operative that was sent to explore the flooded tunnels of the castle. We watch the male swims through the algae-covered tunnels that have all sorts of plant life filling the open space. The tunnel splits at one point, and we see him point to the right tunnel and shake his finger no. He swims to the left and cautiously emerges from the water. The room he enters appears to be the old armory in the southern corner of the castle. The male looks around more and points to a very old sword on the wall. It bears the Marilip crest and appears to be in decent shape after all this time. There are at least a dozen swords that have escaped the ravages of time because of the thick wax coat that is on the blades. I nod along, taking notes as to what I've seen. Klaus's man swims to the far side of the room to the partially open door and looks out. All the lower chambers seem to be holding at least 3 to 4 inches of water. The feed cuts out and we look at Klaus. Gus did well. He's one of our best swimmers, and he is the most stealthy when it comes to missions like this. Please tell him excellent work for all of us. Aurora will be most pleased knowing that there's an unobstructed path to the interior of the castle. I, however, am not pleased that my mate wants to be the one to attack from the inside, but her logic is solid. With all that standing water, she can freeze her target solid and minimize the damage to her infiltration team. I roughly run my hand through my hair and try to quell my beast. He knows Aurora is in heat and he wishes to go to her and fill her again with his hatchlings. It's not fun to be a rutting alpha. I look up and the room has cleared out, all except Jace left. My good little Omega, he must scent my need and he's waiting to see if I will accept what he's offering. Deliberately, I slide myself to sit on top of the table with my legs spread, looking over it at my Omega. His scent has changed. You ready? His scent has changed and he smells delicious. His scent almost mimics Aurora's. Bloody hell, his scent gets my cock hard and leaking. Jay stands before me with the unspoken question in his eyes. Fuck yes, I want this boner taken care of. I smirk at him and lean back slightly, making it easy for his nimble fingers to make short work of my belt and buttons. Carefully, he frees my throbbing cock from its prison, and he eyes it greedily. Jace takes the rolling stool and sits upon it before me as he kisses and licks my balls. He's truly an expert when it comes to sucking cock. He knows how to rile me up and make me want him more. I feel his lips giving my length butterfly kisses from root to tip. I'm gripping the table hard, trying to resist the urge to thrust up and into his mouth before he's ready for me. Slowly, Jace tortures me inch by inch. He slides my length to the back of his throat. What he can't fit in his mouth, he strokes roughly, knowing I like a firm grip. I can't resist anymore. I start to thrust up each time he takes me down his throat. Soon we find a rhythm that satisfies both of our needs. I release the desk and shove my hands into his hair for complete control. I'm so fucking close. Several more thrusts and my seed starts pulsing down Jace's throat and he swallows every single drop. Gently, I caress his scalp, running my fingers through his hair, showing my appreciation. His smile is rewarding enough right now. What should I do for him? I'm still hard as steel and his balls have got to be aching. I reach out through the bond to Klaus. He's definitely the type to get in on some Jace loving. Several more moments later, Klaus enters the room to find Jace still licking at my cock and me smiling at him. Come here, Klaus. I want you to suck Jace's cock while I fuck his ass. If you're a good boy, maybe I'll fuck you too and have Jace suck your cock as well. Klaus's pupils dilate at the thought of what I just offered him. I turn my head to find Jace naked and waiting. Gods, I love our Negro Omega. I grab Jace's hand and lead him over to the doorway that leads into the file room. I place each hand of his on either side of the door frame. Get to work, Klaus. Make Jace feel real good. Klaus takes the rolling stool that Jace had used earlier and rolls into position. I reach around and feel how wet Jace's cock is. Feeling his pre-cum coat my hand, I pull away and rub it along my length. I give him a few more strokes, milking him some, then take more of his pre-cum and start to massage his rosette, getting the muscles to loosen up. Klaus is taking his time licking Jace, making him moan and writhe before me. Oh yes, I'm absolutely fucking brilliant at times. As soon as Jace is relaxed enough, I thrust deep inside him, sinking balls deep. Jace likes it rough, so I run my hand up his abs to his chest, then his throat. I grip his throat, applying just enough pressure to have him have complete control. He moans and leans his head back and to the side in complete submission. There's my girl. About time you showed up. My dragon roars in the back of my mind, pleased with his reaction. I place my free hand on his hip and start thrusting into him hard and fast. I need this more than anything. I need my Aurora. Jace is no Aurora, but his Omega status helps me ease my rutting. I fuck him harder, occasionally making Klaus gag from the sudden forward thrust. I feel Klaus's free hand come back and grip my balls, and that does it. I come so hard into Jason's ass that I end up biting him again, marking him as mine. My bite causes Jace to come almost immediately. I watch over Jace's shoulder as Klaus swallows every drop. Between Jace's and Klaus's involvement, they have managed to take the edge off my rutting for now. I look up at Jace and the way Klaus is running his fingers through his hair. I have a feeling these two are involved in their own relationship within the bond. Carefully, I withdraw my now flaccid cock from Jace's ass and I kiss his cheek. Have fun, you two, I say as I turn and wave. Be sure to clean up when you're done. Both guys thank me as I depart, and I can hear them giggling to themselves as I close the door behind me. Yep, those two are definitely an item. The old school thought is that each member had to be bonded to the other for the strongest connection. But the truth of the matter is, it takes time to forge a strong bond. The stronger the female, the stronger the bond is between the mates through her will alone. We're lucky to have Aurora, probably the strongest, most understanding female I've ever met. The next 3 days will be hell for us without Aurora's presence. For now, I must talk with the others and plan our next possible move. Told you. Chapter 5, Aurora. Somebody needs to check on Nina and see if the dog killed her since in the past hour and a half. Oh no! I warned everybody to bring their hot flash kits. We are more than ready for this. See, I've even got my candle going here tonight. Mynae is ready for this. I picked it out ahead of time. 3 days have passed, and yet to me, it feels like only a few hours. My father had a brilliant idea, putting me into a state of torpor to endure the heat until it passed. I pull out my amp and tune my guitar. It's been a while since I played, and I decide to start playing Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse. It seems fitting for me. It doesn't take long for the guys to locate me as my voice carries through the pack link. My voice fills the main hall in the Alpha House. I let my power explode for me and coat the room in ice. While I slept, my father dreamwalked with me, filling me in on almost 700 years of our family's history. He taught me several new skills that I have yet needed to put into practical application. Today will be the day that those new skills will be tested. My guys and our pack mates gradually begin to fill the hall as I go through the song. I feel my eyes shift and my frost begins to coat the floor near me. It's slowly snaking out along the floorboards, plunging the room into winter. My mates look concerned as they watch as my skin flexes. My facial bones slide and shift, changing the structure of my cheeks as I sing. My beast wants out, and she absolutely loves this song and remembers what happens during the video. It's just not like her to miss this, and she knew what it was going to do because I read part of it to her when we were talking earlier. My packmates stare in awe as I partially morph, then shift back to human with very little effort on my part. I finished the song. Yes, I think that's a good idea. My beast wants out, and she absolutely loves this song and remembers what happens during the video. My pack mates stare in awe as I partially morph, then shift back to human with very little effort on my part. I finish the song and set my guitar down next to my favorite chair. Today we change up our training, I announce as I leap up onto the closest chair to look out over my people. Break out the swords, machetes, anything sharp that you can wield in your human form. They're expecting our animals. They will not expect some of us to fight as humans. As eyes turned toward my father and Dimitri, we're going. Okay. We're going to take the war to them, old school style. Their likings and most of their joy won't know what hit them. Tactically, this will put us at an advantage and we will reign supreme in the close quarters battles. We must control the flow of the war. We must dictate how it begins and ends. By the time I finish my speech, my pack and my horde is feeding off of my energy and power. Cheers erupt around the Alpha House and outside, where the rest of my people stand listening to my speech. I slightly incline my head toward my people and they begin to exit the house. Once everyone has left, I jump down and greet my mates, hugging and kissing each one in turn. We need to prepare for all possible eventualities. Vladimir is old. He may or may not have taught his pack the old ways. We must make sure each pack member, as well as our allies, know how to use a sword effectively. Dmitri nods gently, then crosses his thick arms over his barrel chest.
Brilliant, my love. Brilliant plan, my love. I've wanted to teach you how to use a sword for years. It's just, with as unstable as you used to be, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. Dmitri smiles in his lopsided grin and tilts his head to the left, watching me. My other mates back up slightly, expecting me to lose my temper over what Dmitri just said. I can't help but laugh a little. Dmitri wasn't wrong in his assumption. Good thinking, big guys. Someone other than me would have gotten hurt. I purposely say it calmly and smile afterwards. I walk over to Dmitri and wrap my arms around his neck and kiss him gently on the lips before backing away. I give him a playful wink, then look at the others. The twins and Alaric look at me, puzzled and in a semi-state of shock. Klaus and Arnulf have no clue how much of a hellion I was before Oberon helped me. Are you feeling all right, baby girl? Dominique comes over and kisses my forehead, and I grab his crotch. Yep, perfectly fine. Let's go train. I'm in the mood for a twin sandwich and then a round of Pass the Aurora. I start to walk toward the door in complete silence. I turn around in time to hear Arnold whisper to the others, "What's a twin sandwich?" What a twin sandwich is. Jace is kind enough to lean in and tell Arnold. I watch Arnold's cheeks turn a brilliant crimson. Yep, the poor bird is going to lose his mind later. Without skipping a beat, I head toward the training ring. Apparently, the town's blacksmith has a collection of swords from way back in the day. Boris, the blacksmith, brings. Don't make me read in Russian, please. Boris the blacksmith brings me over to the racks and allows me to choose first. I search through the swords and grab one that appears to be a heavily built rapier. Its weight is just about 3 pounds, including the ornate hilt. Boris goes on to tell me that it was what's called a Mynae sword. It's the perfect blend of speed and strength. He gives me a short history lesson on the sword's previous owner and what it was used for. Apparently, this sword is a stone cold killer, which just so happens to make it perfect for me. By the time the guys come out, I've decided this is the sword I'm going to use. Erlich goes to the racks next and grabs a rapier out and tests its weight in his hands. I smile, watching him as Boris stitches leather gauntlets over my forearms to keep my sleeves out of the way. Once everyone is ready, we pay for our equipment, then exit Boris's shop and head to the training area in the nearby field. I crack my neck and close my eyes, remembering the lessons my father taught me while I slumbered. I find my center and gradually open my eyes and assume the stance I saw my father take a million times as I flitted through his and Dimitri's memories of father's battles. Slowly, I raise my left hand and motion for Erlich to come to me. My breathing is controlled and my focus is razor sharp.
I'm watching for any hint of his body telegraphing his move before he makes it. Erlich comes at me hard and fast, and I parry his strikes effortlessly. The blades caress several times, making the eerie scraping sound as they slide over each other. I push off after the next clash of the blades, throwing Erlich off balance. My mate definitely telegraphs his moves before he strikes, and I'm anticipating them, which is starting to piss him off royally. His next move, I decide to end the match quickly and disarm him with a wide sweeping circle after the last clash. I stand now before him, holding both swords pointed at him. I smirk and toss him back his sword, then blow him a kiss. Thanks for the warm up, love.
You move like your father, Dmitri says, looking between Nicodemus and me.
I should hope so, my love. Daddy taught me while I slept. I wink at Dmitri as Erlich passes his sword off to Nicodemus. Father versus daughter. This should be most interesting. I stand in guard with my sword in a neutral position, but my body is in a combat position. Nicodemus moves quickly, striking fast and efficiently. Luckily, I'm a quick study. We clash and lock several times, having to push off each other multiple times. The battle is almost a draw, except my dumbass gets a bit too cocky and my father disarms me quickly. I smile at my father. We battled far longer than Erlich and I did. I'm feeling quite accomplished at the moment. My mates begin to applaud my battle with my father. I'm moving quickly to hug my dad and listen to him as he tells me where I went wrong so that I won't make the same mistake twice. The rest of the afternoon, I sit beside Nicodemus, enjoying some quality father daughter time as he explains to me what each fighter is doing wrong. Out of my mates, Dmitri, Erlich, and surprisingly Arnolf are all skilled sword fighters. I watch as they and several pack elders take it upon themselves to teach the others to sword fight. Not everyone will get extensive training, mostly my assault force and the Lycans will. By mid afternoon, my father and Dmitri had switched out, and my other mates were replaced by elders. We watched the sparring matches, assessing everyone's weaknesses and strengths. Arnolf comes to stand before me and bows. Wouldn't you do me the honor of sparring with me? Arnolf has a bit of a mischievous look in his eyes. The eagle is getting bold. I rock back, then flip up onto my feet before him. Casually, I reach back and grab my sword from where I laid it in to rest earlier. Let's go. I motion to the ring, and I can see the anxiety rolling off of him in waves. Jace comes over and caresses my arm and kisses my cheek. Be gentle, love. He's new to our family. I lower my eyes and look up to Jace. I'm hoping my sadness is conveyed well. I would be a bad mate if I took it easy on him. The Stradori and the other Lycans won't take it easy on him. I won't hurt him, but I also won't go easy on him. I can't. I kiss Jace's cheek, then step into the ring with Arnolf. I barely entered the ring when Arnolf charges at me. It's then that I notice his eyes are vacant and not his own. Fuck. I know I killed Elena, but Arnolf is being controlled. I reach out to my mates and they clear their area of all the others. I have to subdue my mate without killing him and figure out how the fuck someone got to him. Arnolf keeps charging and I keep blocking and parrying his attacks. I watch, hoping for an opening where I can get in close and dominate him to drive the witch out of his head. For Arnolf, knowing full well that this may be a one-way ticket for him. But that thought to me is unacceptable. I will not kill my mate. I will fucking save him. Arnolf is starting to fatigue. His movements are becoming sluggish. I slap his ribs with the flat side of my sword to make the point he could have died right there. Nothing. No reaction from him. Motherfucking witch. I swear to the elder gods, I will slaughter her in the most bloody and painful way possible. I reach out to Dominic and Jace and let them in on my next move. As Dmitri comes up behind Arnolf and wraps his arms around his ribcage. Arnolf is struggling, trying to get free, and I see it in his eyes that he's contemplating shifting. I shift my eyes to that of the beast and force him to look at me. I forbid you to shift. I growl out the command. focusing all of my alpha power just on him. The immense power he gets hit with makes his legs buckle under him. His bird goes and hides deep in his subconscious. Slowly, I draw in a deep breath and grip Arnolf's head and close my eyes. I force my way past the witch's defenses, delving into the mental prison that Arnolf is in. A kindly looking older woman with a cane is walking in a circle around Arnolf's cage. This Notre Dame I've been told about. She's definitely a blood mage, so I must take extreme caution. Arnolf looks up, bringing my finger to my lips. I shake my head, motioning for him to remain silent. I know you're there, princess. The elder dame begins to laugh. You're just like that fool of a mother you killed. You do know you killed her, right? You shredded her insides like cheese. The elder dame turns to finally look at me. She is short and withered, and I can see Alina's and Bash's features in her face. Okay, wait a minute. You're just like that fool of a mother you killed. You do know you killed her, right? You shredded her insides like cheese. The elder dame turns, finally looking at me. She is short and withered, and I can see Alina's and Bash's features in her face. Oh, I know I killed my mother. Blood memories won't let me forget. I feel like I should be singing that Post Malone song, Take What You Want. I carefully stalk towards her, watching her movements closely. Raising my hand casually, lightly touching my sternum where Oberon implanted an elvish charm he said would protect me from blood magic. I stare the elder dame down and wait for her next move. Her hand comes up to caress my chin as she steadies me. I should have broken your neck when I had your little body in my hands. She smirks, looking at me. My idiot brother believes you will take him and accept him as a mate like your mother did. I start to laugh. Honestly, I can't help it. So you think by killing my mates or threatening to, I'll accept him? I shake my head as I feel my eyes shift. Yo, bitch! About time you got here. You honestly don't know who or what you're fucking with. Oh, wait a minute. I start to laugh. Honestly, I can't help it. So you think by killing my mates or threatening to, I'll accept him? I shake my head as I feel my eyes shift. You honestly don't know who or what you're fucking with, Crown. The eyes of my beast lock with her, and the look of fear on her face is priceless. One huge problem with your plan: I am my father's daughter. I shift my arms to my armored gauntlets and flex my talons. Arnolf winces, and I see blood on his head where my hands lay in the real world. Interesting development. If I hurt her, she will be hurt in the real world as well. I tilt my head several times, studying her, seeing if she caught on to what I just figured out. Abomination! The elder dame yells, pointing at me. Yeah, I get that a lot. It's so unoriginal. I look at the ground under her feet and start to freeze it, trapping her in place. You're not the only one that's special. Oh, you're not the only one that's special, Elder Dame. With that being said, I create a mini ice storm and unleash it upon her. I watch her wrinkled flesh be torn to ribbons before she fades from view. Arnolf's prison fades as well, and now he's free again. I close my eyes and lean my head back, focusing on returning to my body. Sharply, I draw in a breath and open my eyes back in the real world and look around. My mates are in awe of what I had just done, and my father stands there proud as a peacock.
Just like your great grandmother. I'm very proud of you, daughter.
I smile and bow my head lightly to my dad, then look at Arnolf. Are you okay? I didn't mean to hurt you. I look down briefly as I remove my hands from Arnolf's hair. I realized whatever I did there would happen here. I knew I couldn't physically attack her without killing you.
Her who?
Dimitri asks as he pulls me into his arms and hugs me tightly. I met the elder dame, I say very matter of factly. I sent her back bleeding to her master, I said softly. I sigh softly, looking over at Arnulf again. Do you know how it happened? How did she get in? Arnulf moves close to me and touches my cheek. Through the bond, I feel how upset he is that he could have hurt me. I saw her in my dream last night. I was trying to reach out to the ancestors for guidance and she appeared. That's the last thing I remember. Arnulf shrugs his shoulders as he looks at me. I can tell he is hurting over all of this. I look at Dimitri and he releases me. I immediately hug Arnulf and kiss him gently. It's not your fault, love. You're new to the bond. Therefore, your connection to me isn't as strong as the others yet. It will grow in time. Trust me when I say no one faults you for what happened here today. My other mates all voice their agreement. I can see him attempting to smile through it again. I kiss him passionately as he grips me tightly, not wanting to let me go. I smile when I break off the kiss. Go shower, you stinky boys. We need some quality bonding time after dinner. My other five mates take off like someone lit their asses on fire. Arnulf tilts his head to the side, looking at me puzzled. Sex after dinner, Arnulf? When the real meaning hits him, his eyes light up and I smack him on the ass, sending him running off to the shower. Silly mates, what am I going to do with all of them? Okay. Nina, I'm going for it. Chapter 6, Dominique. The last 12 hours have been intense, so to say the least. Aurora woke up. I may not finish this chapter, y'all, but I'm going to try to. Aurora woke up with the fire of vengeance burning brightly in her heart. I don't know how the others feel, but I felt her rage as if it was my own. The underlying urge to hunt and kill all those that stand against us is spurring my beast on. He wants to kill and and please our mate. I head into the house, shower quickly, and race to the kitchen. Jace is already in there, chopping and preparing dinner with Klaus as his sous chef. I watch them work in silence side by side, making dinner for everyone. Lithe fingers ghost over my broad shoulders, then come to rest on my hips. Teeth nip at the muscle over my shoulder blade. I moan softly, shifting my weight slightly as I feel Aurora's fingertips move and trace each defined muscle across my back. Her hands rest on my shoulders as she moves to stand on her tippy toes. Her breath washes over the back of my neck, and I roll my head forward, granting her access. Aurora's lips gently caress my skin. My wolf makes himself known, and he rumbles in my chest. Mm. I feel a smile move over Aurora's lips. My baby has a bit of kink. She loves letting my wolf hunt her and have his way with her. My conch is rock hard in my pants as I think about the last time we took her as a wolf. No, tonight the man will have his way with his mate. Aurora gradually makes her way to stand in front of me. My beloved mate's scent calls to me. She's aroused and desires my attention. Bit by bit, I lower my head and nip at her throat and listen to her moans fill the air. I look up, and Klaus and Jace's movements have stilled, watching us. I reach down and grab Aurora by the ass and slam her back against the wall and kiss her roughly. I rub my hard cock against her crotch in slow, teasing thrust, knowing I'll have her begging for it sooner than later. Aurora arches her body, bringing her breasts close to my face. My canines elongate, and I use them to rip the fabric of her shirt, freeing her breast. Her gasps are music to my ears as her hands grip my hair roughly, and she pulls my face to her chest. Who am I to deny my mate what she wants? Aurora removes one hand from my hair and uses one of her talons to cut the remaining fabric free from her body. She obliterates her little booty shorts as soon as the pretty lace bra as well as the pretty lace bra she had on. My mate wants me as much as I want her right now. Then again, Aurora is always riled up after getting into a fight. Sex seems to soothe her beast better than anything else we can do for her. Aurora tilts her head, looking down between us at the offending genes that are currently blocking what she wants. I lean forward and lip as I take my free hand to undo my pants and let them fall to the floor. Aurora squeals with delight as she wiggles her ass until I'm lined up with her wet depths. I release her lip only to move and bite onto my mating mark on her shoulder while I thrust up into her and drive her body down. Her muscles are already quivering and pulsing around my cock as I bury my balls deep in her. Aurora squirts almost instantly when her orgasm comes crashing down on her. I thrust against the strong rhythmic pulses of her muscles, trying like hell to outlast her orgasm. The sneaky little minx bites the mate mark she gave me, and I fucking blow my load long before I wanted to. We cling to each other as we come down from our high. I can't help but smile at my beautiful mate. She's still pressed against the wall, with me still buried deep within her welcoming depths. A sudden slap to my ass has me instantly growling, my black fur rippling up and down my arms. I'm in protection mode since my mate is cradled between me and the wall. I look around for my next victim and see Dimitri laughing.
Couldn't wait till after dinner, huh? Dimitri says, motioning to everyone helping to set the table. Thankfully, it's just our bond mates allowed in the Alpha house after dark. Otherwise, it could have been quite the spectacle. My brother Jace comes over and offers us both wet towels, and Klaus has robes for both of us. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or strutting around like a peacock right now. Aurora rolls her eyes at me after she finishes cleaning herself up. Quickly, she bounces up and kisses my cheek before running to her seat to start eating. She sounds like my kind of girl. I thought I would be used to Aurora's antics by now, but I'm not. I love that woman to death, but the invasion we're planning quite honestly has me terrified. I'm not scared for myself per se. I'm scared of losing the only woman I've ever truly given myself fully to. Yeah, there's been many women over my lifespan. I'm a man and I've got needs, but Aurora, even when I'm physically not touching her, I feel her deep within my soul. I'm never alone because of the bond she's forged between all of us. Aurora always seems to be evolving, changing, becoming the woman we all need and our enemies fear. I guess my pensiveness has caught Alaric's attention. He stands before me looking worried and he motions with his head for us to leave the room. We walk in silence until we make it to the hidden bunker and shut it tightly. What's eating at you, Dom? Usually you're very jovial after being with Aurora. Alaric tilts his head to the left, then the right, studying me. I exhale the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I'm worried about Aurora. All these changes, new gifts, powers, and abilities. As she evolves, I fear she will lose herself in it all. I fear we'll lose her in battle. I fear if she dies, we all will either follow her into the abyss or be left to mourn her loss. I look down as a single tear rolls down my cheek and hits the floor. I see. Alaric moves and sits in his favorite chair. Being a dragon has its benefits and its drawbacks. We live an incredibly long time, but it's also very lonely at times, watching our friends of other species age faster than us and die. Alaric strokes his beard before starting again. What I'm trying to say, Dom, is that we don't know what's going to happen with Aurora. She's the second born of her kind, the first to make it to the stage of her evolution. The fact that the Fae King himself is watching over her brings me comfort. But what if she dies? I mean, what if we're left behind? I look away, trying to recompose myself. My heart feels as if it will break at any moment. I don't want to live without her. Dom, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Alaric stands and moves to hug me tightly to his chest. Do you know why Nicodemus lived after his mate died? Which, I must add, is uncommon for dragons too. No, I answer in short
My answer is shorter than I had intended, but what else is there to, she said. He said he had his hatchling to live for, Dominique. We have Tiamat and Layden to live for. I don't know, still, that's the first time I guess I've read the children's names. We gonna have to talk one day about all these names and pronunciations because I know you're probably cringing every time I read some of them. Oh, Nina, just go back because you done missed the hot part, sister. We have Tiamat and Layden to live for. They are our children, or as you wolves would say, they are our pack. Don't all members of the wolf pack tend to the young? Alaric questions, making sure his understanding of pack law is correct. Pack take Pack takes care of the pack. Your hatchlings have the protection of the pack as well as the horde and swarm. They have mine and Jace's protection for as long as we both shall live. I look into Alaric's eyes, making sure he understands what I said. But you don't understand them. But you don't consider them your children. Alaric looks hurt as he speaks. It makes my stomach turn, and sadly, he's partially correct. I push off his chest and start pacing. Your babies don't freely accept the others in the bond completely. We're not dragons. They'll seek out the dragons or dragon hybrids in our family. The rest of us barely exist. I growl, thinking about how badly the baby's rejection hurts me. It sucks, Alaric. It fucking sucks. First, I think they are mine or Jace's, and then now that they're here, they reject every fucking attempt we make at being close to them. I didn't know, Dom. I'm sorry. Alaric looks remorseful. It's because as they're animals, the others can't hear them. But now that they are older, they should be going to everyone equally. I'll have to talk with. Oh, it's Alaric talking. Sorry. It's because as they're animals, the others can't hear them. But now that they are older, they should be going to everyone equally. I'll have a talk with them post haste. Alaric moves so quickly, I'm almost shocked by it. I run to catch up with him, and he's back in the kitchen with everyone else rather quickly. Aurora stares at Alaric curiously, as does Nicodemus. By the color of their eyes, I know they are communicating amongst themselves. Both children come running into the room dressed in their clothing for the day. Aurora's been allowing them to spend more time as humans lately, which is quite a nice change. Children, Alaric says. Yes, father, Tiamat and Layden say in unison. Why do you not go to your other fathers within our bond? Alaric asks them gently, trying to see where the disconnect is. The look of shock on Aurora's face tells me she was unaware of the problem. Tears form and freeze on Aurora's cheeks, her own pain over the situation evident. You are father. They are mother's others. You are father. They are mother's other mates, Layden says boldly, being defiant like always. Tiamat is shaking her head no and looking remorseful. Layden, they are our dad. Layden, they are our dads. Father is our father, but they are all dads to us. Mother said so, Tiamat says with a slight growl to her voice. Tiny frost crystals move over Tiamat's skin, showing her agitation with her brother. Her little dragon is close to the surface as she stares down at Layden. Layden, Tia is correct. They are your dads, and I am father. They are to be afforded the same love and respect you do your mother and me. Alaric's eyes are that of his dragon, driving the point home. Layden looks away, which was a huge mistake on his part because Aurora is on him in a second. She picks him up off the ground, brings him up to eye level with her. Do you love me less because I am not a full dragon like your father and grandfather? Aurora is pissed off, thinking her son may be speciesist. No, Mommy, I love you. Layden tentatively reaches out to stroke Aurora's shifting facial bone plates. Aurora snorts frost on her son and looks away. If you cannot love my other mates like you say you love me, how do I know you love me? I am not and will never be like you or your sister. I will never know what it is to spread my wings because I have none. I will never know the freedom of flight without a wingsuit or your father. Does that make me less than you or your father? Aurora turns to look at Layden in the eyes, tears threatening to break again, and roll down her cheeks. Deep down, we feel the conflicting pain versus the anger boiling under the surface. We all start to rub the dull ache in our chest, feeling Aurora's pain as if it's our own. Daddy Dom, why are you rubbing your chest? Tia asks as she looks up at me with her eyes stretched, wanting me to pick her up. Arms stretched, wanting me to pick her up. Because we feel your mommy hurt. When your mommy hurts, I snuggle Tia to my chest, and Jace soon joins us and snuggles up behind her. Only true mates can sense each other, little one, Jace says softly before kissing the crown of Tia's head. She turns in my arms and wraps her arms around Jace's neck and hugs him. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'll be better. I'll be a better son from now on. Layden lowers his head in submission. Aurora gently sets him on the ground and watches his actions. Layden climbs up on a stool and looks at all of us. I'm sorry I was mean. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Mommy is very important to me, so I'm sorry because I was a weenie. I'm going to start calling Nino a weenie. I can't read all that. We all accept his apology and continue to play past the Tiamat since she was the first to seek out affection from us. You weren't mean, Layden. You were an ass. Tiamat screams at her brother, her dragon's growl making her voice sound that much angrier. Her little dragon close to the surface, tiny scales ripple up and down Tiamat's arms. I wanted to play with all my daddies, but you said no. You were an ass. Tiamat is growling in Dimitri's arms, causing a light coating of frost to cover his shirt. Her little talons extend and retract, punctuating her anger. She looks exactly like a miniature Aurora. Do things, little one, Dimitri says softly as he kisses Tia's temple. Don't say ass is not a nice word. Second, please don't freeze me. I'm not as frost resistant as your mom and father. Dimitri says as he smiles at Tia. Tia looks quite sheepish as she studies the frost on Dimitri. Carefully, she passes her little hand over the frost and it vanishes as fast as it had appeared. Sorry, Daddy. Tia wraps her arms around Dimitri's neck and hugs him tightly. Her little dragon purrs its affections at Dimitri. Me too. Layden, on the other hand, jumps down and starts passing out the hugs, telling everyone he's sorry for being a weenie. Aurora still looks distraught over what her son has done. Alaric attempts to console her until Klaus comes over and takes Aurora from him. He raises his eyebrows at her and motions toward the door. Aurora smiles and shifts on the spot, heading towards the door. How are you turning the doorknob, you silly woman? Klaus yells as he chases after Aurora. All I can do is shake my head while watching Aurora and Klaus leave. Can we go play with him too? Layden asks as he pulls on my pant leg. I don't see why not. We all follow Layden outside as he goes to look for his mother and Klaus. Looking at the distance between paw prints, they took off at a run and could be anywhere. I'd look at my brother and we tilt our heads back and use a locating how to gauge how far away Klaus and Aurora are. Tiamat and Layden both attempt to howl and can't. It comes out more like a garbled roar. I cant my head to the side, listening for the return howls. Several seconds later, we hear their combined call. The children look at me expectantly. Part of me wants to be an asshole and teach Layden a lesson. The face he's making tells me he can't understand the howls at the moment, and that is enough of a lesson. They're hunting by the lake. They are inviting the entire family to join them. They want the babies to see what lichens can do. Alaric looks in the direction of the lake. It's about a mile away. We can fly there or shift and run as a pack. And I'm going to stop there, y'all, because it's 9:04 now. So, what you guys think? Nina, you're always using that poor dog as an excuse now for all your. And catch up on what you guys are saying. Why are you retracting your messages, Jackie? Okay, so one of these days I'm gonna have all the voices down, and I'm gonna have them the same for each book because I try to picture in my head what I feel like they should sound like. I had every intention of starting in the beginning and reading through. And then Nina asked me what I was going to read, Serenity. And I said, she told me Lady's Choice. And Nina's like, ooh, I love her books. They're so hot. And I already knew the wedding thing in the front because I'd already read it once for you. By the way, you can put this on we'll put this on your site and in the DM. And so I told Nina, I said, hold on, let me find something good. So I went in, I opened it up, and I searched moan. I thought, oh, that's a good word. By golly, it came to chapter 4, and I was like, "Urgh." So, oh yes, you are, honey. Vincey, this book, this series was made for you, for me to read to you. Checking their stuff. Thank you too. Have you had a lot of cases, COVID cases to deal with, Serenity? Selling vibrators would be a good thing. Since her, you probably would make him killing doing that, Serenity. I just, yeah, I talked to her right about like 6:30. I hung up with her. She wishes somebody abducted her. He couldn't handle her either. It's all her husband can do to handle her. What is it about me saying fuck? Everybody, Sarah did that last night. She's like, I love to hear Mynae say fuck. And I'm like, what? Fuck. Is that the way you like it? Fuck. Ooh, yes, Randy. I like that idea of the gift basket. Oh, don't let Nina kid you about that dog having her heart. She's been threatening all week to send him up here to Aunt Nay's house for boot camp, for puppy boot camp, because she can't handle him. Zahn is always going to be a twat waffle. Nana, you guys start back at the beginning, darling, and read it. I figured darling when I was Dimitri and Dom and Dominic, because I'll know when them getting right. And Jace. I know, isn't she cute? Tia's like little Aurora. Maybe I can do audiobook your reads. Oh, hell yeah, we're getting drinks. We're going to my place and we're going to do margaritas. Them 32-ounce suckers, sister. And we may be dancing on the tables. Uh, well, hello, Miss Nikki. Nice to meet you. I know what that was cute, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. Nice to meet you, Nikki. All right. So, yes. So, go get the book. Is it $2.99, $3.99, $5.99? I don't even know what it is. Lord, I'm gonna have to get all my voices right. See, the dragons are hard because they're not big, and so I'm thinking deep voice for dragons, and then Dimitri's a bear, so I'm thinking like deep voice for him, but he's got to be cuddly too. $2.99 free on free on KU. Well, Nikki, thank you for helping to take care of our girl. How many kids you got? I know you got a teenage boy, but how many other kids you got? Alrighty. So she's answering that because I'm being nosy. Tomorrow night, used by Leanne Rines. One of these days, I'm going to read all these books. I'm going to take like a week off and I'm just going to read. I'm going to do the whole series. Oh, I thought you had multiples. Alrighty. So, anybody got any more questions for Serenity? Because, this is nosy time. Fur babies can be more depending on how trained they are. Hey, you guys like my little poof ball tonight? I don't know why I put my hair this high up, but I did. It feels kind of good and it's kind of cute. Almost looks like a bun. This is how curly my hair gets, y'all. This is natural. All I did was when I wet it down this morning, I put some oil in it just to keep it from frizzing because it was raining today. And I just brushed it back, let it dry, and then I pulled it up into a ponytail. So this is how much curl I have in my hair, y'all. I can make it worse too. What's your favorite sex position? Cowgirl. Alrighty, I won't get any nosy. I'm just being funny. All right, everybody have a good night. Thank you, Miss Serenity, for letting me read. I appreciate it. I've got to get up early in the morning so that I can work half a day and get ready for my scoping Friday. Yeehaw! All right, ladies, love you all. Have a good evening and happy reading.